The office of the Supreme Chancellor was drenched in violet light. Lightning shattered the heavy silence. But the true nightmare did not belong to the Jedi. When Mace Windu deflected the full, crackling fury of the dark side back at its master, a terrifying phenomenon occurred. The conduit snapped. Sheev Palpatine collapsed against the cold glass, gasping for air as his face withered into its true, ruined form. But the physical transformation was nothing compared to the cosmic silence screaming inside his mind. The Force, his eternal ally and instrument of absolute control, vanished. The deep, intoxicating well of dark energy dried up instantly, leaving a profound, chilling void. Palpatine was no longer a master of the galaxy's invisible threads. He was merely an old, broken man standing in the ruins of his own ambition. Anakin Skywalker watched in stunned silence, his lightsaber humming uselessly as he sensed the sudden, catastrophic drop in power. The god of the Sith had been reduced to mortal flesh in a single heartbeat. Yet, the gears of the grand plan were already turning. Impossible to stop. With the Jedi Council marching toward their doom and the clone troopers waiting across the galaxy for a single word, Palpatine realized his survival depended not on dark side sorcery, but on raw, unyielding deception. He pulled his ruined hood over his head, hiding his profound weakness behind a mask of cold, calculated terror. As the doors of the antechamber hissed open to reveal Anakin's agonizing choice, the newly minted Darth Vader knelt before a master who was suddenly terrifyingly human. But how long could a powerless emperor command the loyalty of the deadliest monster in the galaxy? The dark side was gone, but the throne remained within reach. Back in his private chambers, Palpatine stared into the polished obsidian mirror, studying his ruined, pale visage. Without the soothing, regenerative hum of the dark energy that once sustained him, every joint ached with mortal agony. But physical weakness could not curb a mind honed by decades of political conspiracy. Knowing he could no longer rely on telepathic intimidation or Sith illusions to bend his subordinates, the Chancellor turned to the oldest weapons in his arsenal: paranoia, bribery, and blackmail. He summoned Mas Amedda and Sly Moore into the shadows of his office, binding them to his survival with ironclad threats and stolen secrets. Every senator, every bureaucrat, and every military commander became a piece on a fragile, high-stakes chessboard. Palpatine carefully orchestrated public broadcasts, using clever holofilters and pre-recorded audio loops to project an image of a recovering, battle-scarred leader who had narrowly survived a treacherous Jedi assassination attempt. The Senate bought the lie, weeping for their scarred chancellor and granting him sweeping emergency powers with thunderous applause. Yet, managing a galaxy-spanning empire through pure administrative terror was a relentless tightrope walk. Whispers of dissent began to echo through the lower levels of Coruscant. Intelligence reports hinted that certain senators were asking uncomfortable questions about the chancellor's sudden seclusion. As Palpatine coughed into a blood-stained handkerchief, watching security feeds of a restless populace through tired eyes, he knew political illusions had an expiration date. Time was running out. Every passing hour increased the risk that the Jedi, or a sharp-eyed politician, would sense the absolute absence of the dark side shrouding the Chancellor. Palpatine knew he could not afford a prolonged political transition. The knife was already at his throat. With trembling fingers, he bypassed the secure relay station and directly authorized the Grand Army of the Republic to execute the ultimate betrayal. Across thousands of star systems, the brutal machinery of Order 66 roared to life. On the swamp world of Felucia, on the blazing dunes of Salukami, and inside the sacred halls of the Jedi Temple itself, clone troopers turned their blasters on the very generals they had fought beside for years. Because Palpatine could no longer project his telepathic will or monitor the galaxy through the Force, he had to rely entirely on the absolute, unthinking programming of the clone biochips. It was a chaotic, bloody purge. Without the Emperor's dark side foresight to warn him of surviving masters, several high-profile Jedi managed to slip through the net. Yet, the sheer volume of sudden executions overwhelmed the Order. The Grand Temple burned, filling Coruscant's night sky with thick, choking smoke. Palpatine watched the distant fires from his balcony, his heart hammering against his ribs. He was completely blind to the cosmic ripples of the dying Jedi, relying solely on security hollows to confirm their deaths. As the final reports of the massacre trickled in, the Republic officially died, replaced by a ruthless military dictatorship. But beneath the celebrations of a newly minted galactic empire, a paranoid ruler stared into the dark, wondering who had survived the purge in the shadows. The Galactic Empire was his, but Sheev Palpatine felt like a beggar sitting on a throne of ash. The profound emptiness inside his soul drove him to a madness deeper than any Sith philosophy. Stripped of the dark side, he felt old, fragile, and utterly mortal. He could not accept this fate. Behind locked doors and heavily guarded scientific facilities, the Emperor launched a desperate, classified crusade to reverse what Mace Windu's deflection had broken. Imperial intelligence agents were pulled from frontline duties and sent scouring the farthest reaches of the Outer Rim for lost Jedi archives, Sith holocrons, and ancient artifacts of dark sorcery. On Coruscant's deepest levels, teams of geneticists and alchemists worked under immediate penalty of death, ordered to dissect cloning data and forbidden cloning science from Camino and Exegol. Palpatine subjected his ruined body to agonizing experimental procedures, pumping strange alien serums and archaic chemical compounds into his veins. Each failed attempt left him weaker, his skin turning a sickly, translucent gray. He stared obsessively at ancient texts detailing life extension techniques, screaming in silent fury when every formula yielded nothing. The frantic diversion of vital military assets did not go unnoticed. Supply shortages rippled through the Imperial Navy, and high-ranking officers began whispering about the Emperor's erratic, obsessive demands for obscure relics. As a massive cargo convoy carrying forbidden Sith artifacts dropped out of hyperspace toward Coruscant, a heavily scarred Palpatine clenched his fists in anticipation. Would the secrets of the ancients finally restore his godhood, or was he chasing a ghost into the grave? Darth Vader knelt in the austere throne room, but the intoxicating aura of absolute power that once radiated from his master was entirely gone. When Vader reached out through the Force toward the Emperor, he felt only a hollow, pathetic void, no crackling dark energy, no crushing telepathic dominance, just the shallow breathing of an aging, sickly politician hiding beneath a black cloak. The realization struck the Sith apprentice like a physical blow. He had sacrificed his wife, his limbs, and his very soul to serve a supreme Dark Lord, only to find himself chained to a helpless old man. Resentment festered beneath Vader's black armor. On brutal subjugation missions across the Mid-Rim, the cyborg enforcer found himself taking liberties, executing rebellious governors without consulting Coruscant, and building a private network of loyal stormtrooper legions. The psychological weight of his servitude transformed into a cold, calculated ambition. If the Emperor was no longer a god, why should a godlike warrior bow to him? Yet decades of deep-seated psychological conditioning held Vader back. The lingering fear of his master's once limitless cunning kept him from striking the final blow openly. Instead, he watched every move Palpatine made, noticing the trembling hands, the hidden medical treatments, and the frantic obsession with Sith relics. As Vader stood over a burning rebel outpost on a desolate moon, he clutched his lightsaber tightly. The throne was ripe for the taking, and the apprentice began calculating the exact moment to sever the head of a decaying empire. The iron grip of the Empire was slipping, and the galaxy could feel the difference. In the smoke-filled boardrooms of Corellia and the hidden base camps of Dantooine, rebel leaders realized something extraordinary was happening. Imperial supply lines were sluggish, coordinated counterattacks were arriving too late, and high-value target movements were shockingly predictable. Without Palpatine's dark side augmented foresight and omniscient coordination, Imperial intelligence had become blind. Grand Moff Tarkin and operational commanders were forced to rely strictly on standard military logistics and bureaucratic reports, leaving massive blind spots across the Outer Rim. Seizing this unprecedented window of vulnerability, Mon Mothma and Bail Organa united scattered insurgent cells into a cohesive, aggressive fighting force. Strike teams hit vulnerable coaxium refineries on Kessel and intercepted Imperial armadas near the Sullust system, scoring stunning, morale-boosting victories that electrified the galaxy. Citizens who had previously cowered in fear began painting rebel symbols on public walls. Panic gripped the Imperial Senate. Emergency meetings turned into shouting matches as admirals demanded answers for the sudden string of humiliating defeats. Back on Coruscant, Palpatine slammed his fist against his desk in a rare display of open rage, coughing violently as he realized his empire was unraveling because he could no longer feel the pulse of the galaxy. As a massive rebel fleet successfully routed an entire Imperial sector group, the spark of rebellion blazed into an unstoppable wildfire, drawing closer to the capital with every passing day. The storm had finally reached the inner sanctum. Sirens wailed across Coruscant as rebel fleets breached the planetary defense grid, but the true war was being fought in the dark heart of the Imperial Palace. Darth Vader marched through the grand doors of the throne room, his heavy mechanical breathing echoing ominously against the polished floors. Palpatine sat slumped on his throne, surrounded by ancient Sith scrolls and medical monitors, looking more like a corpse than an emperor. He raised a trembling hand, attempting to project an aura of absolute authority. "You dare approach me, Lord Vader?" Palpatine rasped, his voice lacking its old, terrifying resonance. Vader did not kneel. Instead, he ignited the crimson blade of his lightsaber, casting a bloody glow across the walls. "Your reign of deceit is over, old man. You are no Sith. You are a ghost clinging to a throne that belongs to the strong." Panic flashed in Palpatine's eyes. Stripped of the dark side, he had no mystical defenses left. He reached for a hidden control panel, attempting to trigger the automated security locks that would vent the room into space. But Vader had anticipated this exact maneuver. Months ago, the cyborg had quietly rewritten the palace's security codes, turning the Emperor's own bureaucratic trap directly against him. With a swift, emotionless swing, Vader swept his blade forward. The Emperor's desperate gamble ended not with cosmic lightning, but with the cold, final hum of a lightsaber cutting through a false god. The Tyrant was dead, and the heavy shadow that had choked the galaxy for decades lifted in a single, quiet moment. As news of Palpatine's demise rippled through the Coruscant underworld and out to the farthest reaches of the Outer Rim, a profound quiet washed over the stars. There was no dark side awakening, no cosmic cataclysm, and no immortal spirit waiting to rise from the ashes. The Sith had finally ended, not in a blaze of mystical glory, but in the cold reality of mortal consequence. Darth Vader stood over the fallen Chancellor, looking down at his own mechanical hands. The ambition that had driven his betrayal suddenly felt hollow, replaced by the crushing weight of a galaxy looking to him for answers. But the Imperial war machine fractured instantly, without a central tyrant to hold it together. Grand Moffs bickered for power, while rebel fleets swept in to claim the capital amidst scenes of overwhelming joy and disbelief. Mon Mothma and the Provisional Council stepped forward to draft a new galactic charter, establishing a fragile, hard-fought democracy built on the blood and sacrifice of ordinary citizens. The Jedi Order, though decimated, began to slowly rebuild under a new philosophy, one that did not rely on absolute dogmas or tyrannical cosmic masters. The invisible chains of the Force had been broken. For the first time in 1,000 years, the destiny of the galaxy belonged entirely to mortals, stepping forward together into an uncertain yet truly free dawn.